Alright, so this morning we've been talking about a whole raft of matters, but one of the key themes that's coming out is this whole issue of careers and pathways and skills and lifelong learning. So in this region, obviously, we have a strong heritage of apprenticeships in the trades. So trades like boilermakers and welders and fitters and electricians, and that's a fantastic way for a young person to start out a career. But we shouldn't get fooled by thinking that that's the end of the learning for those, particularly those young people that are coming and going from the colleges. So we need to take up the responsibility of getting those people through their apprenticeship, but then realising and working out a plan for those kids so that we can actually get them into a pattern of learning. So this is where institutions like the universities and TAFE colleges, polytechnics and so on really come into their own with providing us as industry as providing the services that we need to train those people. If we take the next step from that, I guess, and we think about that, we often have very highly technically skilled people, but we don't do much about skilling those people in the area of management. So we have a responsibility, if we're going to particularly promote those people into supervisory and their management positions, that we also skill them appropriately to do those jobs. Otherwise we end up with two very unhappy parties, with an employee that doesn't like their job and an employer that's not satisfied with the performance of the individual. I think that that the university has a vested interest in industry and industry vice versa. So I think that if we're both big enough to accept our responsibility in that as collaborative partners, then we can actually really start to progress. Otherwise, I think we all stand off from one another. And for example, this campus is a facility that people drive past every day. Thousands of employees on the North West Coast drive past the front door of this university, but have actually never stepped inside the university. And as a personal example, I'd never stepped inside a university till I was 37, when I actually went to do my induction for my MBA. So I think that somehow we've got to break down those walls, and I think that this campus is doing a great job of that by running things like cafe forums that are of general interest to the public, to get the public through the front door. And as industry, we have a responsibility to capitalise on those opportunities and get our employees into the campus, so that we break down any of the paradigms and any of those concerns or fears that trade people in particular have around universities. So I think that this campus is doing a fantastic job, and I'm an employer who's benefiting from that, having had employees attend courses at the university, and we can see it on our bottom line. Yeah, I think the businesses need actually to say what they want. Just been having a discussion over lunch with a couple of people who've got particular needs, but don't really think about the university as an organisation that could deliver on those needs. And that's because they're not degrees, they're not postgraduate, they're short course type activities, but I see that as a prime example and as probably the best opportunity for the university to get people through the door in a bite-sized chunk, and then to, I guess, break down some of those paradigms that exist between industry and the university. That we need to be prepared to change the way we do things and also the way that we think about things. And I think that there's too much talk in this country about manufacturing being a dead industry, and I don't subscribe to that for 1 minute. And I think that having been involved in manufacturing in Europe and places like Italy and Denmark and Sweden and Spain, and also in China and in India, that I see ample opportunity for manufacturers in this country who are prepared to be innovative, who are prepared to, I guess, adopt principles like Six Sigma and Lean, which are really required if we're going to have an effective and an efficient manufacturing industry in this country.